to Mr. S.N. Pradhan, who's the Director General of the NDRF, who's joining us to tell us about the preparedness. Thanks very much, Mr. Pradhan, for being with us. Let's put into context what are the threats really that you first took as priorities while dealing with this situation of preparedness. I mean, there is the aspect of the sea, then there's the aspect of the coast, and then there's the aspect inland, and you had to look at all these aspects. And how well prepared are we?
I think we are reasonably well prepared given the context that we are facing the second cyclone of the season. Yeah. The first cyclone was a super cyclone and it landed as an extremely severe cyclone. This cyclone is a comparatively lesser intensity cyclone, although the comparisons can be misleading, and cyclone is a cyclone and it has damage potential. But certainly the wind speeds are in disaster response terms negotiable wind speeds, which can be prepared against, planned against, and if evacuation and other due diligence takes place in time, then we should be able to optimize on the saving of life and property. Now, as far as NDRF is concerned, as we speak, even the teams are on their way to Maharashtra and Gujarat. And in all, 43 teams will be distributed in the 2 states and 2 union territories. And the Maharashtra state will have ultimately 21 teams once the 5 teams are airlifted from Vijayawada to join sometime late in the night. And Gujarat will have 16 teams. 5 teams have landed in Surat from Bathinda, airlifted from Surat and landed in Bathinda. So it's all in all, the preparation on ground is very solid and very purposeful. And we are working with the state government's machinery, all the time over the last several hours, and will go late into the night, probably to the early hours in the morning, for the evacuation, which is the key to ensuring that people are safe.
And let's get an update from the IMD itself. We are privileged to have with us the Director General of the IMD, the India Meteorological Department, Dr. M. Mahapatra, with us. Sir, what's exactly the intensity of this storm? Can you put it into context? Tell us which are the areas that people who are living there, you're talking directly to them now, what they should be concerned about.
Around 8:30 p.m. of today, the Cyclone Nisarga is located about 270 kilometers south-southwest of Alibag, and it has started moving north-northeastwards. We are expecting that it will move north-northeastwards and intensify into severe cyclone storm tomorrow morning. And at the time of landfall, which we are expecting over Maharashtra coast tomorrow afternoon, that means anytime after 12 o'clock, we have expectation of 100 to 110 kilometers per hour, gusting to 120 kilometers per hour wind speed over the coastal districts of Maharashtra, namely Thane, Raigad or Mumbai districts. In addition to that, we are also expecting winds of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour for Ratnagiri and Sindhu districts in the south, and also Palghar district in the north. In Gujarat, Valsad and Navsari districts also may experience wind speed of 70 to 80 kmph. Under this scenario, the strong winds of 100 to 110 plus 120 kmph, which is categorized as severe cyclonic storm, has the potential to uproot the trees, breaking off tree branches, damage to thatched houses, mud houses, tin houses, asbestos houses. It can also damage partially the telephone and electric poles with bending or uprooting. And also telephone lines can be disrupted. In the city or townships, there can be the hoardings which can be destroyed because of these strong winds. It can act as projectiles. It can damage other bodies. Also, it can damage the human beings also. In the time of landfall, we are also expecting the rainfall amount will continue. Already rainfall has started in coastal Maharashtra. Now there is almost heavy rainfall going to occur in southern parts of the coastal Maharashtra. And gradually it will increase in northern Maharashtra. And tomorrow peak rainfall activity will be there when cyclone will be crossing the coast. And we are expecting heavy to very heavy rainfall with extremely heavy rainfall at some places in these districts, namely Thane, Raigad, Palghar, or Mumbai and Ratnagiri districts. And also we can have heavy to very heavy rainfall in the interior Maharashtra districts, like Pune, Ahmednagar and other adjoining districts. Under this scenario, we can expect the low-lying areas to be inundated because of the rainfall. The third aspect is the storm surge or the tidal wave. We are expecting 1 to 2 meter height storm surge to inundate the low-lying areas of Mumbai, Thane, and Raigad districts. And this tidal wave can start from the afternoon and it will continue for about 6 hours. The rainfall already started, gradually it will increase, and this increased rainfall activity or heavy rainfall, you can say, will be more intense tomorrow. And wind speed will gradually increase from noon onwards. We can expect more wind speed and picking up to 100 to 110 or 120 kmph at the time of landfall.
Okay, Mr. Pradhan, so then the extent of damage with 120 kilometer speed of winds causing damage to property as well as trees, telephone poles, all these electricity poles. We can have a similar situation as what happened in Kolkata to some extent. To what extent has the NDRF prepared also with the evacuation of people from some of the areas which are in the storm's path?
Well, actually, the important areas which.
Yes, Mr. Pradhan, we can see you.
Yeah, the areas which are going to be impacted are the coastal districts, and importantly, the major districts are Raigad and Palghar, and also parts of suburban Mumbai. So that is where the evacuation has taken place, and even as we speak, the evacuation is going on. It is a little difficult because the rains have started now, but yes, evacuation should be done by the end of certainly this night, and by morning we should have removed all the people to safer places, and that will probably take care of the situation as far as the protection of life is concerned. As far as the winds which are comparable to the winds which happened in Calcutta, I'm certain that the precautions have been taken by the Bombay municipality authorities and the state government. It would be a good idea for citizens of Mumbai to stay indoors because there could be flying objects, as the IMD has already warned, and there could be flying sheets, asbestos, tin sheets, and
right,
even falling branches of trees. So it is not a good idea to come out, especially when the rains will be also heavy and the tides will be also high and the waterlogging could happen. So probably a good idea, a good day to stay indoors and stay out of danger.
Okay, Mr. Mahapatra, the fact is that the cyclone comes just as the monsoon has hit the Kerala coast. So in this context, when the monsoon moves forward, are we likely to see a more furious monsoon in this sense? What is the prediction? What are we likely to see this year? Is the monsoon going to be more intense?
Yeah, yesterday we have issued the second stage of monsoon forecast. As for this forecast, we are expecting the normal monsoon rainfall, and quantitatively we have upgraded from 100% to 102% of the long period average. The long period average of the rainfall for the country as a whole is 88 centimeters. As per our forecast this year, we are expecting rainfall to be 102% of 88 centimeters plus minus 4% for the country as a whole. Now, considering the different homogeneous regions, we are also expecting normal rainfall over northwest India, central India, and peninsular India, with almost slightly higher than 100%, 107%, 103%, and 100%. But over northeastern India, we are expecting 96% of the long period average. That means, except northeastern India, the remaining parts of the country, we are expecting good amount of rainfall. Northeastern India, which has in the recent years experienced slightly below normal rainfall, this year also we are expecting 4% below normal rainfall. So if you look at the main monsoon months like July and August,
right,
we are also expecting normal monsoon rainfall. We are expecting 103% of long period average rainfall in the month of July and 97% of long period average in the month of August. So I just want to say that as a whole, if you just look at the monsoon behavior, we are expecting to be a good monsoon year. So, and it is a uniform distribution of rainfall which is expected over most parts of the country except the northeastern states where we are expecting slightly less rainfall activity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahapatra and Mr. Pradhan. Thanks very much for your inputs. I'm sure that our viewers have been far more enlightened about tomorrow's cyclone because of you. Thanks very much for being with us. Now moving on to